Let us do pradhana and start the session. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Annado Sri Jagannatha Madguru Sri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Chara Acharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. The only Guru of three religions, Traitatiram originator, sensational writer, Hindu virtue donor, the Emperor of spiritual kingdom, Sri 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 Acharya Prabodhananda Yogeshwari. We are learning Traitatiram Bhagavad Gita interpreted by Sri 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 Acharya Prabodhananda Yogeshwari. We are learning Kshetragna Vibhaga Yogamu. Last week we learned from 18th to 23rd Slokam from Kshetragna Vibhaga Yogam. We need to recap what we learned last week from 18th to 23rd Slokam. So what is that? Let us see. Paramatma is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the ignorance. He is the object for knowing. He is in the heart of all living things and goal of knowledge to all. Similarly, it is briefly said about the Kshetra, wisdom and knowledge, knowable object, that is Gnanam and Gnayam. So, the devotees whoever know this and then they will get eligibility to attain Paramatma. Know that Prakriti and Purusha are without origin. It must be known that the changes of dispositions are born in the Prakriti. All guna vikaras, gunas born from Prakriti itself. So Prakriti is said to be the cause of all activities and effects, whereas Purusha exists as the cause for experience of pleasure and distress inside the body. Purusha is the Prakriti for experiencing the dispositions which are generated in the Prakriti because he is related to the gunas. He takes birth in good and evil birth sources. The Purusha who wears the body exists as spectator, means it exists as Atma, and as Jiva who is the acceptor, and as Paramatma who bears her husband as Jiva who experiences as Maheshwara and as Paramatma. We learnt up to 23rd Slokam last week. Let us move on and learn from 24th Slokam onwards today. Let us see what is the 24th Slokam. Ya evam veti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha sarvatha vartamanopi na sabhuyo abhijayate. What is he saying over here? One who knows about the Purusha, the person who knows about Purusha, Prakriti and Gunas, though he is in all matters and all activities, again he won't take birth. This slokam is talking about Prakriti and Purusha. This slokam is talking about Prakriti and Purusha. So the one who knows about the Purusha, Prakriti and Gunas, what happens to him, even though he is in all the activities and in all the matters, he does not take birth again. That is what this slokam meaning. We need to deep dive into the interpretation or explanation provided by Swami. So our body contains the dispositions. So the dispositions are born out of the Prakriti. So one should know that these dispositions are made out of the Prakriti and they are becoming the cause for all the actions itself. And the Purusha is also there in the body. He is also divided into three parts. So those are Paramatma, Atma, Jivatma. The Jivatma who is entangled in the dispositions, he is experiencing happiness and sorrow because he is entangled in the gunas, dispositions. The Atma, which is immortal soul, it is the one which is driving the Jivatma. It drives the body. It gives the conscious energy to the body, and it makes the mobility to the body itself. So it does all the tasks with respect to the karma that is earned by the Jivatma or mortal soul. And the absolute soul, he is the spectator only. He does not do any task. He is residing inside the body and outside. He is everywhere. He is omnipresent. His status is neutral, just he witnesses everything. So when one person knows all these things, that person, even though he is doing any task in this world, he is not going to get attached to any karma, because the karma, which is the reason for getting the rebirth. So when he is not getting attached to karma, there is no rebirth to that person. Some people may get question on this, that is, those who have more sanchita karma of former births, there will be a question that some people might have sanchita karma, that is accumulated karma. In this birth, in the prarabdha karma, initiative karma, some portion of the karma taken out from the sanchita karma, accumulated karma, that is allotted as initiative karma, prarabdha karma. While we are with the body, so the body, all the actions and everything happen because of the initiative karma. That means whole sanchita karma is not burnt out. So when whole sanchita karma, if karma itself becomes zero, that means no sanchita karma exists, then only he is going to, then only he will not have any rebirth. So in single birth, in accordance with the word of Bhagavan, one who knows the details of Prakriti, Purusha, and all the Prakriti and Purusha, before he experiencing the entire Sanchita karma, without getting second birth. So is not without getting second birth. That's what the Bhagavan said, right? Is he get liberation in that birth? So the our question is, the arised question is he going to get rebirth? Like this, anyone may get doubt. For that, Bhagavan said in this verse, Sarvada Vartamanopi Nasa Bhuyo Abhijayate Na Sa. He. Bhuyo Abhijayate. Bhuyo means again. Abhijayate means again taking the birth. Is not going to happen. He said na. Right. So by saying the word sarvada vartamanopi, naturally in accordance with the karma, according to the karma principle, as long as you have karma, you will definitely you undergo the experiences according to that karma. In order to go undergo experiences, you have to take the birth again and experience with the body only. So you are dying yours death, or you are taking yours birth, as long as karma exists. It, there is one thing, you are not getting attached to the new karma. That means new birth does not come to you. The cause for the birth is the karma only. In accordance with the doctrine of karma, up to karma is exhausted, it is doing its work. So when karma is doing its work, that makes you born again and again, you will be experiencing happiness and sorrow, and the birth will continue. Birth will continue until whole karma nullifies. Whole sanchita karma nullifies. but not the, here you are not earning agami karma. The future karma you are not earning, but you have sanchita karma, right? All sanchita karma should be exhausted. So for that purpose, the births will be there. Once that is exhausted completely, then you are going to attain absolute soul. It must be known that Bhagavan did not say, especially in the verse, that liberation could be attained in single birth, though old karma exists. That you have to remember. When your all karma is exhausted totally, then only you are not going to get rebirth. That's what he said, right? When your whole karma, sanchita karma, is zero completely, you do not have any agami karma, you are not earning new karma at all, you are experiencing the existing karma. So when sanchita karma becomes zero, the accumulated karma becomes zero, then you will get liberated. That's what God said. Let's move on to 25th and 26th slokas. 25th slokam is talking about Bhakti Yogam, Brahma Yogam, Karma Yogam. 26th slokam is talking about Jivatma getting liberation. So let us see what these 25th and 26th slokas are talking. We have the meaning at one place and description is also at one place about these two slokams. What are they? Let us see. ध्यानेन आत्मनि पश्यन्ति केचित् आत्मनमात्मना अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन च अपरे अन्ये त्वयेव मजानन्तः श्रुत्वा अन्येभ्य उपासते ते अपि चाति तरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः. What is he saying here? Some persons practice the bhakti yogam by meditating the sakara form of Paramatma to merge themselves with Paramatma by attaining liberation. Some persons practicing Brahma yoga to attain darshan of Atma. Besides, some persons follow Karma yoga. Those persons who did not know these matters are heard by others and worship according to their word and attain results. Let us see what is he saying over here. So as Bhagavan told in this slokam, so if we see how this world is going, how this world is, so what is the status of the world right now? There are some people who approach some of the people and who keep some people as their gurus. They go to them and hear their teachings. They keep them as their teachers. So those teachers will learn these people how to worship, and those so-called gurus preach them some matters to them. So those matters are related to the prakriti, nature, and the teachings are related to the prakriti, and what the worshippings they tell the people to do are related to the devatas or demigods, but not at all related to the Paramatma or absolute soul. So they will have their own ashramas, they will establish ashramas. For their ashramas, they will establish one devata or demigod over there, and uh, they will be worshipping that demigod, and they will be praising that demigod, and they will be teaching about the demigod. Those things will be there in their ashramas. Those so-called swamis, gurus, all those people will be doing that. So there are some people, they follow Shaiva tradition, Vaishnava tradition. So Shaiva traditions, they worship Shiva. Vaishnava tradition, they worship Vishnu, and they are the devotees of those demigods. Those who heard the teachings of them and worshipped, where do they go then? As God said, those who worship Anya Devatas, that means the demigods, they will be attaining them only. Those who worship absolute soul, they will attain absolute soul, again they won't get birth. So the people should be very cautious what kind of teachings and what kind of worshipings they are performing, they are listening to them. So one can get worthiness for attaining liberation if he practices in accordance with that by reaching those who is completely knowing the division of Prakriti and Purusha and must hear only their teachings of Paramatma. If the teachings are containing about the Paramatma, if the teachings are having uh, division of Prakriti and Purusha and whom do we have to attain, everything, that means it's a straightforward real wisdom itself. Because of that you can get the liberation. If not, so that becomes like related to the nature itself, attaining the nature itself. You must watch, you must be very careful, you should be very very careful. If those teachings are containing or related to Prakriti or related to Paramatma, you have to opt the Paramatma related teachings. You have to listen to those teachings related to Paramatma, because that makes you liberation. Other things makes you bondage with the Prakriti itself. So if you are going with the nature itself, if you worship the demigods or devatas, then you will never going to attain Paramatma. You will be in the Prakriti and you will be in the birth and death cycle forever. So be cautious. That's what about the 25th and 26th slokam. Let us move on to the 27th slokam. यावत् संजायते किंचित् सत्वं स्थावरजंगमं क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभः. He is talking about Prakriti and Purusha in this slokam. Let us see the meaning. One, oh, chief of Bhakta, Bharatas. So he is saying Bharatarshabha, right? So that's what he is saying over here. Oh, chief of Bharatas. Know if any jiva of movable and immovable entities and anything is born, that is born by the combination of Kshetra and Kshetragna. Kshetra is the field, we can say. Kshetragna, the one who knows about the Kshetra completely. So these are called Kshetra, Kshetragna. The word Kshetra, Kshetragna is used in this slokam. So with respect to the body, what we learned is the Kshetra means the body which is made up of the nature, and Kshetragna means Atma. Atma means immortal soul. It is right to say Kshetra and Kshetragna by dividing a man. When we divide a man or our body, then you will come to know nature, Kshetra, and the Purusha. Purusha. So if we say about the world with a broadly outlook, so if we talk about this world with a broader outlook, then we will see this world is Prakriti and the Kshetragna is the Paramatma, who is called Purusha over here. So the above verse must be known that Kshetra and Kshetragna are said with the meaning of Prakriti and Purusha. So this slokam is talking about the Prakriti and Purusha. So the movable living things like men, insects, animals, serpents, birds and aquatic animals, etc., and immovable beings like plants and trees, etc., newborn stars, and if anything is born, that is born from the combination of Prakriti and Purusha. So without the combination of Prakriti and Purusha, there is nothing going to born. it can be said in the world there is nothing without combination of Prakriti and Purusha, and Jivas do not exist without movable and immovable entities in the world. So Jivas, in the movable and immovable world, Jivas exist inside that. If we take an example, so if we take a living thing, if we consider about a living thing, in that Prakriti is related to body. Body is made by Prakriti. Atma and Jivatma are related to the Paramatma. So three souls and the nature exist inside the living entity. If we see newly made chair, if we consider about a chair, how it is made, it's made from a matter. It's made out of the matter. But if you go inside the matter, in each and every particle, the absolute soul exists. That's why we say the Purusha, the absolute soul, he is omnipresent. He is spread in everywhere. He is in even in the atoms also. So in the so in any living thing or even in any matter, there exists Prakriti and Purusha. Without them, there is nothing. Without them, there is nothing at all. So with their combination, everything takes birth. So that can be of living entity or non-living entity. Anything is by the combination of Prakriti and Purusha both. Let us stop here. Let us learn from 28th Slokam onwards in the next week. Let us do Mangala Prarthana and end the session. Om Mangalam Gurudevaya Mahaniya Prabodhatmane Sarvaloka Sharanyaya Sadhu Rupaya Mangalam. Prabodharpnam to everyone.